everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Rum Traveler at Home. Tonight we are going to teach you guys how to make a mojito. Mojito is another classic cocktail. I'm sure a lot of you guys have had this cocktail before. A little bit of history about it. So it was invented in Cuba, and it used ingredients that were readily available in Cuba back in the day. So it's going to use a rum. Typically this would be a white rum, so and in Cuba that probably meant actually an aged rum that was filtered. Hey Joe.
Hi, I'm here.
A little bit of technical difficulty there.
I had trouble getting it started, but we're here now and ready to get going. So
technology is always the challenge, right?
Yep.
So I was telling them a little bit about Cuban rum. So that's normally what you would use in this cocktail. Unfortunately, this is the United States of America, and we don't have great access to Cuban rum, as you guys could probably imagine. We do have a couple of Cuban rums here in our bar. We have a couple of Havana Club expressions, but they're more the aged, really oaky, smoky expressions, and that's not exactly what you want for a mojito.
We have a 7-year and an añejo, which just wouldn't give the right flavor to a mojito. So.
Yeah, and they're darker in colors because they've been in a barrel for a while. And this cocktail definitely calls for more of your clear white rum like this. So like I said, it can be an unaged rum or an aged rum that's been filtered. But you just don't want it to have too much of that like oaky barrel. You want it to be kind of a light, fresh rum. So we have selected Diplomático rum.
From Venezuela.
Yeah, so this is the Planas expression. So this is an aged product, but it's been filtered to remove any color there. It's got a really, fresh,
a clean taste.
Taste. And this is a fresh cocktail. This isn't really heavy. It's meant to be light and breezy and something you can enjoy like out by the pool, at the beach on a hot day. Think about like summer in Cuba. That's what they'd be drinking there. And that's probably what they are drinking there right now. We won't know until all this stuff is over, but yes, hopefully soon. So that's the rum that we've chosen. When you pick a rum for this cocktail, you want to make sure you pick a really high quality rum. You don't want to use your kind of bottom shelf white rum because you're going to taste the rum in this cocktail. It's the star of the cocktail. So definitely pick something that's a little higher quality than kind of those entry-level white rums.
Yeah, like she said, it's the purpose of the cocktail is to taste the rum. It's very rum forward, so that the ingredients you add to it. There's a lot of different ways to make a mojito. We're going to do 2 today, but the ingredients are more of an enhancement. So the rum is the focus, and the ingredients are more of the just a hint of flavor, bringing it out.
Yep, absolutely. So let's get to work. So we'll talk about the ingredients here. So like almost every one of our cocktails, or maybe every one of our cocktails we've done, lime juice, fresh lime juice. We're not actually going to juice the limes today. This is a muddled cocktail, and Joe will show you guys how to muddle. But instead of juicing it, we're going to cut the lime in half, and then we're going to cut it into 4 wedges. And we're going to use 4 wedges in our cocktail. That should give us approximately an ounce of lime juice. This isn't an exact science here. A mojito is kind of it's a looser cocktail. It's not, precise measurements here. It's kind of, you just go with the flow. You add and take away what you like and what you don't like.
And you can always change the balance of the ingredients too. If you want it sweeter, you might add more sugar or more syrup depending on the kind of mojito you're making. If you want it a little bit more tart, you might add more lime juice. And a couple of things we'll go over when we're making the cocktail. But muddling is a kind of more of a tender thing. You think about muddling and you might want to just mash it in there and smash everything to pieces. But there's more of a science to it. You really just are trying to work some of the ingredients, the oils out of the mint. If you have fruit in there, we're going to be using blueberries for a blueberry mojito for one of them a little bit later. But you don't want to mash it into a pulp. You just want to basically express some of the juices and the flavor into the cocktail.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and all of this stuff that we're going to muddle is going to end up in your glass. So that's a good reason to not destroy it. You don't want like destroyed little tiny mint leaves because they're going to come up through the straw, they're going to get stuck in your teeth, and it's going to be just a mess. So just keep your muddling light. Joe will demonstrate that. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and take those lime wedges, and we're going to squeeze them into the shaker. So we're going to, muddling will get out some of the juice, but we kind of want to give it a head start. We want to make sure we get a lot of juice out of this because this is mostly the only juice going in the cocktail other than the club soda at the end. So squeeze all 4 of the limes in there.
Have we talked about how to pick a good juicy lime?
I don't think so. Yeah, let's give them a tip there. Go ahead.
So when you're picking out your limes at the grocery store, you want to avoid the really oval, bumpy limes. Those are not going to be as sweet or as juicy. You want to pick the very smooth, round limes, and if they're shiny, that kind of gives you a hint.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but this one's really shiny and smooth. That means it's going to be sweet and it's going to be juicy.
So at this, that's picking out lime. So I can already smell how juicy that one is and how
smells
it's
amazing.
a very sweet lime. So it almost it smells like candy almost.
Absolutely.
All right, so we've got the lime squeezed and in the container or in the shaker. So we're going to add the next ingredient, which is
the mint.
Mint, you can buy in the grocery store, but it's very easy to grow at home if you've given it a couple shots. It takes a little while to get used to it. So we grow our own. We actually bought it at a hardware store and planted it in pots. See, it tends to go crazy. Once you put it in a garden, it'll grow out of control. But if you put it in pots, you'll have fresh mint for your cocktails all the time. There's a couple different kinds of mint. We have peppermint, sweet mint, and spearmint. And we are using the sweet mint today.
Yep. So for this cocktail, again, it's not an exact science. We used about 10 mint leaves. If you like a lot of mint, throw some more in there. If you're kind of mint averse, then use like 2 or 3. And
remember, it's going in the cocktail, so if you put a lot of mint in there, just remember that you're going to have to work around it with your straw.
Yep.
So the next ingredient, I believe, is the sugar.
Yep. So we've already pre-measured. This is 2 tablespoons of sugar. It's just a white table sugar. You can use this, or you can use a simple syrup if you prefer. But traditionally, a mojito would be made with the granulated sugar, like a really fine granulated sugar. Again, that's a piece of the recipe. If you don't want it as sweet, you can cut that sugar back. If it's too bitter, you can just add more sugar. Very easy.
So I'm just kind of giving the shaker a little spin to loosen up the sugar and let it drop down to the bottom. And now I'm going to start to muddle. Basically, all you're trying to do is give a little bit of a twist and a press with the muddler. You're trying to break down the sugar a little bit, help it dissolve, and break a little bit of the oils out of the mint leaves. Again, you don't want to press too hard. You're not trying to crush it into a pulp. You just want to basically express those juices and oils.
All right, so the next ingredient, the most important ingredient, as you all know, is the rum. So we're going to do 2 ounces of rum. Some of the recipes only call for 1.5 ounces, but that's clearly not enough. We need the full 2 ounces. This should be a proper cocktail. So there we go. 2 ounces of rum.
Okay.
All right,
and we're going to stir it with a bar spoon. If you don't have a bar spoon, just grab a spoon with a long handle so you can reach the bottom of the shaker. Just want to make sure you mix that up really well. It also helps dissolve the sugar.
Yeah, so this does have that granulated sugar in there. The muddling will kind of dissolve some of it, but it's going into kind of a room temperature and even maybe a cooler ingredient, so it's not going to dissolve like it would in like coffee. So the stirring with the spoon is pretty important. You don't want like a gritty cocktail.
Now I'm going to try something that we haven't tried before.
Uh-oh.
You know how you try to drink a mojito and all that mint and pulp from the lime and everything gets stuck in the straw?
Yeah.
What if you put a couple ice cubes in the bottom before you pour everything into the glass?
Oh, so it ends up in the middle.
Mm-hmm. We're going to give that a try.
All
Let's
right.
put a couple ice cubes in the bottom. See if that keeps at least some of the debris from the muddling from going down into your straw. Give that a nice pour there.
And you can see we're pouring everything into the cup. There's no straining here. A mojito it's a real drink, right? Like, so you've got all of your original ingredients in there.
And now we're going to top the glass off with ice.
Oh, we lost one. This is a live show. No editing, no going back.
And we're going to take some club soda and top off the glass. If you don't like a lot of club soda or you want to taste more of your ingredients, you don't have to top it all the way off. You just want to put enough in there to freshen up the drink, make it a little bubbly. You're going to take your bar spoon,
Yeah, I
mix it around
personally,
just a little bit.
I don't like a lot of club soda. It's really just there to kind of give it some bubbles and lighten it up a little bit. But too much of it to me is too bitter. So yeah. All right,
And
let's taste.
there it is.
Well, we're gonna make a second one. So do you want this one or should I have this one?
I'll let you have that one,
All right.
unless you wanted the next one.
Oh, this is good. All right, so.
How'd it turn out?
Well, it knocked my earring out of my ear. That's a good drink. Wow. All right.
All right, I have to try it then.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, just took the earring back right out of my. Oh, the earring's still there. I thought it was the back.
Just
wow.
lost the back. Weird.
All right, so
That's really good. Yeah, I actually think that our trick of putting the ice cubes in the bottom of the glass seems to be working. So.
yeah, I like that idea. That's good because there's nothing worse than trying to drink your mojito and the little mint leaf ends up in the straw and then you can't get to it.
So there's our mojito.
Very delicious. Now this one, it is a little on the sweeter side, I think, because the lime was a pretty sweet lime. So you could always dial back that sugar a little bit if it was too sweet for you.
So yeah, the next one we're going to do is basically almost the same drink with a slight twist. We're going to actually do a blueberry mojito. So we actually have some blueberries. We do not grow our own blueberries.
No.
But to pick out the blueberries you want in your cocktail, just like you would if you wanted to eat sweet blueberries, you want them when they're a little bit softer. You don't want them really firm because they're a little more bitter. They're not as sweet. But we're also going to be using the Real blueberry puree. It's not always in the stores. You might have to order it online, but
they have free shipping. I found out. We ordered some
shipping.
passion fruit syrup, which we could never ever find, and I went to their website and found out that it's free shipping. So I don't know why we didn't order it earlier.
What do they have? Like 20 different flavors of puree?
Oh, they have so many. We
syrups?
probably have at least 10 of their syrups. I mean, you name the fruit and they've got a puree. So if it's hard to get that fresh fruit where you live, or you're in a situation like we're in right now where you can't always just go to the store and get fresh ingredients, these purees are great. They're made with natural ingredients, and they're just going to give that boost to your cocktail. So a little bit easier than dealing with the fresh fruit if you don't have that option. And we're using blueberries tonight. We just kind of randomly picked that. We made these before, and they're a nice. Blueberries are a nice, refreshing fruit. They're not too sweet or anything.
And they were buy one get one free at the grocery store.
Oh,
that was a little tip.
They were buy one get one free. Yes. But you can follow the same recipe and substitute whatever fruit you like. If you like strawberry, if you like mango,
watermelon.
Watermelon is
a delicious,
really good.
Refreshing mojito.
Nice summertime option there. The process is pretty much the same. The only thing we're going to change, we're going to dial back the sugar a little bit because this puree does have sugar in it, so we don't want to oversweeten the cocktail. So it's going to be your same 4 lime wedges squeezed in there. It's going to be the same 10 mint leaves. Again, more or less to your preference, but we'll use 10.
Let's go ahead and add that sugar.
There we go. That's so only 1 tablespoon this time, because of the puree. Blueberries? You're forgetting the blueberries. Don't forget the blueberries.
I was going to muddle them in a little right after I get this muddled slightly, just to
get the sugar
help
going.
the sugar break down a little
Sounds
bit.
good. Yeah, blueberries are kind of a delicate little fruit. You don't want to muddle these guys too much either because you'll end up with
They will get
a
pulpy.
mess.
And I picked out some of the softest blueberries we had in there, so it won't take much to muddle these guys. So.
And you're using what, about 8 or so?
I picked out 9.
9.
It's your own preference how much blueberry you want in it. Get that soft one right there. Now let's make it 10.
Why not?
All right. I'm going to just mash those up just a little bit to break them down. That's probably good enough right there.
Get the rum ready. So same 2 ounces of rum.
And you really can taste the rum with this. Even though it's sweet, it's a sweet cocktail, the rum does come through. Like we said, it's the focus of the drink, and then the flavor is just an added bonus.
You want to do the puree?
Yep.
So it's going to be ½ ounce of the puree. We don't need a whole lot. This is a pretty potent syrup here. It's got a lot of flavor, and it is sweet. So, I know a lot of people aren't really into really sweet cocktails, so we don't want to overdo it with the sweetness here. So just ½ ounce will be enough to give you a little sweetness and that really rich blueberry flavor.
I'm going to hold this up so you can see it's got a nice thick consistency, but that nice purple blueberry color as well.
Yes, as everyone knows blueberries are not blue, they are purple.
As
Yes.
George Carlin said, there's no blue food.
There's no blue food. We still haven't found the blue food.
Somebody's hiding all the blue food.
They are.
All right, so we're going to give this a little stir. You want to put your ice cubes in the bottom for
that
us?
worked really well last time. So good tip for you guys at home. Put a couple of cubes in the bottom there so that the debris doesn't get in the way of the straw.
Give that pretty blueberry color there.
Very nice. Let's see if I can not drop an ice cube. Oh, I dropped another ice cube. I tell you guys this every week, I am not a bartender. If I were a bartender, I'd be the sloppiest, slowest bartender. You don't want me back there. Let the professionals handle that.
You just add however much you want to add to your cocktail there. A little bit of a spin there, mix it up.
Sorry, I put a little too much ice in.
It's alright, we can work around it. And then our straw.
Alright. I got mine.
And I'm going to garnish with a couple blueberries on top.
Oh yeah, we didn't do any garnish. We're not being fancy. You could put those on a little toothpick, make something really cute with them.
It's pretty good.
Good?
Yep. Want to try the blueberry?
Yeah, we'll switch it.
Yep, and they definitely are different. This one's you definitely get more lime.
Yep.
And the mint comes through a little bit better in this one. And that one's sweeter with the blueberry.
Yeah. So if you're more a fan of the sweet cocktail, the blueberry is going to be your mojito of choice. And if you want something, not as sweet, a little more refreshing, you pick your regular mojito.
Yep. So that's pretty much
That's
it.
the mojito.
Very easy cocktail to make. Very easy ingredients. You don't need much. Just need your mint, your limes, your rum, and some ice, a little bit of sugar. Everybody has sugar most of the time. So, and that's pretty much it. But thank you guys.
Before we wrap up, I want to see if we have any live questions. Anybody wondering anything? Any suggestions?
Let's see what we got going
thoughts?
on.
Just checking with you guys. It's important that we all stay in touch here since we can't go out in the real world. We have to live in our virtual world.
Well, it doesn't look like there's anybody asking any questions right now, so we can just go ahead and wrap it up. And thank you for joining Rum Travelers at Home for another cocktail video. The cocktail videos are new for us. We are rum drinkers, rum collectors, and the cocktails are just something fun to do since we're stuck in this situation right now with the stay at home and the lockdown and everything. So as long as you have ingredients to make the cocktails, why not?
Yeah, and hopefully we give you guys some ideas of this one's a really easy one to do. I know the zombie that we did last week was a little intense. We had a whole bar full of ingredients. That's why we switched it up this week. I know not everybody has that much energy to put into a drink on a Friday night. But yeah, so this is a great one that you guys can do. It's really easy to make.
Oh, we have a question from Kenny Mack.
Kenny Mack.
He's asking, what is muddling? So muddling is carefully working the oils and the juices out of the fruit or the mint that you have in your glass. You're also basically grinding down the sugar to help it dissolve in the rum or the fruit juices so that it breaks down a little bit easier and then it's dissolved in your cocktail. A muddler is very tricky to find sometimes. Not all stores carry them. Sometimes you can find them at your stores like Bed Bath & Beyond, liquor stores.
Bed Bath & Beyond's not open.
They're not open now, but liquor stores will often carry them.
Yeah, Total Wine, if you have or ABC store, they usually have these basic bar tools. You can order them online. I don't know what you would substitute if you didn't have a muddler.
You could probably use the handle of a wooden spoon or the back of a spoon, or like the curved back of a spoon to kind of work it. Basically, all you need to do is work the juice and the sugar and the mint into the cocktail. Let's see, what else do we have? We got a thank you, and
you are welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. It's been a great thing that we've kind of started here. We've enjoyed it, and we hope everybody else has as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with that, we're going to sign off. We're going to take our cocktails, and we're going to go join some friends online with our social distancing happy hour. Can't speak today.
It's not the mojito, I promise.
No, I've only had a couple sips. But thanks again. Cheers to you all.
Cheers.
Stay happy, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.